Hi, hello everyone. Happy to see you again. Today we are going to see a Hack the Box challenge. It's a web challenge. It was actually a simple one, but it is little tricky. If you fail in certain uh, things, then you might not get the results that you want. So, without further ado, let's begin this. Now you are looking at the screen. The challenge name is Toxic. You can see the challenge description. It is actually a HTB retired challenge. Humanity has exploited our allies, the dart fox, for far too long. Take back the freedom of our lovely poisonous friends. Malicious input is out of the question. When dart frogs meet industrialization. Okay, seems irrelevant to what we are about to do, but okay, let's see. I actually spawned this instance. You can see the IP here. So I'm just trying to open it. It's a web challenge. So I'm straight away putting it in the browser and seeing it. You can see the challenge. It is actually the website for dart frogs. The dart frogs are actually poisonous. You can see it is actually it looks like a simple website. I'm just looking at the website. Let's see what we are up against. So here there is no link. I can see few images. We can just use our EXIF tools if we have no clue about our further steps, but that is too early. Let's move on. Get code. There is a link, but it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, this also same. So no links are valid. It is not going anywhere. Looks like a vanilla static page. It's just a static page, but we might get something. Let's see. I opened the burp suite. So let's forward this traffic to burp. So here I'm intercepting the request. So let me give the request. Now it is being intercepted. You can see here is the request. I'm just forwarding it to repeater. Okay. All right. Now you're looking at the request, the web request. So we are controlling all these parameters since we are the requester. Okay. We are controlling this user agent. We are controlling these entire request parameters. Okay. And look at this one, the cookie. It is actually says PHP sys ID, which is nothing but PHP website. It's a PHP website. The backend programming language used is PHP. So that's what it indicates. And after that, you can see some blob. Looks like the base64 blob. You can just come over here and look at the inspector. Here you may see the decoded base64, and here is the decoded stuff. It is actually a human readable. Looks like some serialized object. So let me explain what is serialized object here. In PHP, there are a couple of functions, serialize and unserialize. So web application or any other application that uses PHP might use these functions to convert the form of data. I mean, convert the data form. It might convert it to serialized form, and it may store it. When it needs to use it, it may just try to unserialize and use it back. So I think looks like a serialized object. Let's see. But before that, we need to review the source code. Don't you remember? We actually given the source code as well. So there is no need for further enumeration. I think we are controlling this PHP session cookie. Apart from that, we can control all these parameters. So let's see. Let's get to this file and see what we are up against. I already downloaded it. Just trying to unzip this file, toxic.zip. The password is HackTheBox. Oh, HackTheBox. Yeah, I just unzipped it. Allow me to open it in code, the Visual Studio Code, just to review this. Okay. Look at this. So here there is a file called flag. This is just a dummy flag, flag for testing. Entry point. Okay. Now I can see some information here. chmod. It is actually changing the privilege of entry point. The Docker file. So look at this one. It is actually adding the user called www. So the www is going to be our web app user, And apart from that, looks like it is running on Nginx. I think we can verify that in Burp Suite also. So let me forward this in repeater. Let's see the response. You may see the response here. It is actually Nginx server. So we are against the Nginx server, and we can also see the PHP version, right? So let's see further. So looks like some PHP FPM config. So let's see what is FPM. I was not aware what is FPM before. When I was doing this challenge, I got a chance to learn it. Let me check PHP FPM. What is that? Oh, let me turn off the interceptor. Fast CGI process manager. It's an alternative fast CGI implementation of PHP with some additional features useful with sites with high traffic. It is preferred method for processing the PHP web pages with Nginx. So with this, we can clearly say the web application is PHP along with Nginx. Okay, fine. Now let's continue doing that source code review. So here, what else? So they are copying the challenge file to www. The challenge files are nothing but the files within this, and the flag. They are copying the file to on the root directory. There is a directory called flag. So they are just trying to copy it. Chown www var lib nginx. I think setting the permission for nginx and the entry point. They are copying this entry point to the root directory. Apart from that, nothing is special here. Build docker. So these are the commands used to turn on the web app. Then looking at the FPM config, not a big deal. I think not much information. Let's see let's focus on the main one. Models. Here you can see the PHP file called page model. So in this page model, it is actually it is actually a function definition. I think it is getting the file. If I'm right, it is getting the file. That is the simple function. And static, which is nothing but some CSS and image files. Whatever the images we have seen in the web app, that is given here. Then what else? Index.html. I think we are now witnessing the index.html. It is actually a HTML page. Let's see. Index.html. Yes, it is. So this is the index.html. Let's see. Let me convert it to PHP since it is a web application. Same. So it is actually a PHP web application. You can see index.html and index.php. So you can use any of it. There is nothing special in this HTML, but the main thing is the index.php. So let's review what could be wrong here. Earlier, when we were intercepting the request, I told you there is something spooky in this PHP session ID. So let's focus on that part. So you can see cookie here, PHP says ID, what it does. I think it is including the www index.html. You may see this here. So it is including this index.html. That include function is used in this page model. So look at this one, include. If PHP, in PHP, if people use include without any carefulness, then they might get into trouble because this might lead to local file inclusion. In this case also, it is going to lead us to read the files. We are going to read the files of the web application. So let's see. Now I think by default it is actually including this file index.html. Then what it does. So whatever the session cookie is there. I think the page, the serialized page. So you can see the page variable here, which is assigned with this index.html content, I guess. So it is actually passed as an argument to the serialized function. Then it does base 64 encoding once again. So what happening here? So this is actually a base 64 encoded blob. So when we decode it, we can see this serialized blob. So as I said before, it is just a serialized PHP serialized object. Then what else? What happens? You can see the final part. This is actually very important. This is where the vulnerability lies. So even if they use serialized function to serialize some object, no issues, because it serializes the data. It is going to keep it with itself, the web application. But when the function, any malicious function used while unserializing, the functions like unserialize, then it is absolute absolute nightmare. So you can see the cookie here. So whatever the cookie given, the cookie actually controlled by us. We can control this parameter. So whatever the cookie we give, it's gonna be decoded. First of all, the base 64 decoding is happening. Then it's gonna, it's going to be passed to this unserialized function. This is gonna handle this input. So obviously we will get some code execution, I suppose. So let's see, not a code execution. I think it executes that. I think it's kind of a code execution. Let's see. Okay, now we have reviewed this index.php file. Looks like we need to mess with this one. Now let's see what we can do. So instead of this index.html, by default it is including it. Why don't we try with other files? The typical HC passwd. So let me try that. If I just apply this change and pass the request, it will not give the output we want. It will just say 200 OK and ng next. Apart from that, nothing else. So what we need to do, I think we need to tweak this object a little bit. The serialized object, it actually forms in this form. It actually forms in a way that whatever the value we are giving, it counts that character and it puts that value here. So let me showcase this with PHP interpreter, PHP A. So it actually interactive PHP shell. So let me create a variable here. So I'll name that variable var, and so what can I give? I just give hello world, a simple one, hello world, and ending with semicolon. Now I created the variable. Now I am echoing that the variable that I created. Okay, I don't know what happens here. Okay, I think it worked. I don't know what happened. Something spooky. I got this error at the beginning, but now okay, you can see it is just I just assigned this value to the variable var. Now I'm gonna pass this variable into the serialized function. So let me give the variable name ser, or I'll just try to echo it. Serialize. What else? Serialize var. I think this is the variable. Yeah, you can see this. I just serialized this hello world string. The string is hello world. If you count this character, there are 11 characters. That 11 characters added here. The number of characters 11. So this is how the serialization works. So let me assign this to some variable. Let me give the name obj. I just serialized it. Echo obj. Okay, now I'll just try to unserialize it. Unserialize. Oh shit. Unserialize. I'm getting that hello world string back. So this is how that serialization deserialization works. I think this is what happening here also. Let's see passwd. How many characters? Let me check this. Echo -n to ignore the line breaks, and I'll add this here. Then what to do? wc-c. 11 characters. So let me add that value 11 here. Apply changes. When I click apply changes, this cookie value changed. Yeah, now you can see this. Simply I pass this. I can see I'm able to read the HC passwd. So this is the impact of insecure deserialization. Hope you got it. Then what else? Simple, right? We just need to read the flag as we see in this file. The flag just copied to flag direct. The file called flag in the root directory. So why don't we try to read it directly? So let me do that. So here is the flag. So totally 5 characters. I need to change this to 5. apply changes, forwarding this. I'm not getting the flag, little weird. Let me check this once again. If I check this entry point.sh, you may see they actually created a file called flag. Again, they did some modification. They are just moving that flag into a file called flag underscore some randomness. So they are using this bash, I guess, some bash script to create some random characters, and they are appending those random characters with this file name. So now we know that flag file is not that flag file is having not a fixed name. It is actually a random name. It has some random name. So let's see what we can do now. Since we know we are using Nginx, the Nginx is what we are using. You can see this access log. We can see the log file because, as I said, that is actually a static web application. We can only control few parameters. Those few parameters are here. We can control these parameters only. By messing with these input, we can able to exploit the applications. We don't have any other access. Now what we can do? We have this path. From this nginx config, we can see the logs are stored into this var log nginx access log. So let me get this file and try to read it, because when we read this nginx access, we may get some idea. So let's see that. Okay, here it is. I'm just pasting this, and need to do one more thing. The number of characters, echo -n wc-c, 25 characters. So let me check this. I'll modify it to 25. Now I am applying the changes. The value changed. Now I am forwarding this request. Look at this. I'm able to read that nginx log. What it says. Actually, this nginx log stores each and every access. I mean, whoever accessed that web application, those data being stored in this access log. What are all the things stored here? Some IP. I think it is the source IP. Then what else? It actually stores the destination. We cannot mess with this, and also some destination path. We can control this, but we need not to mess this. But some harmless parameter is here, user agent. So we can just try to mess with it. We can write some user agent here. So when we write some PHP shell or PHP code here, what will happen? That PHP code will be written on this log file. When we include that log file by using the insecure deserialization, that PHP session cookie, here when we include that access.log file, like just we did, I think it will trigger the code that we injected. So that's what I'm going to try next. So stick with me. I'll try this. Interceptor is on. I will reload this page after turning on the burp. Control R. Okay, I'm turning it on. Now the request is here. I think yeah, the request is here now. Let's see. I need to modify this user agent. Okay, but before that, before modifying it, I need to inform you one important thing. You may see this repeater. Let me expand this. Here the user agent, whatever the user agent we are giving in this request, there is no quotation at all. It is just mentioned after this user agent parameter. But here if you see this log, that complete user agent is that complete user agent is enclosed within this double quote, right? So what we can do, we need to be careful. If we use another double quote here, it will terminate that. I think it will mess that log file itself. It will actually create some problem, I guess. So we should be careful. We shouldn't use the double quote. So that's what I wanted to say. So here the double quote is already used. So let's see. Okay, now let me move to this proxy. Here I'm in the proxy. Okay, I'm deleting it. I'm just going to insert one simple PHP code. Let me include this PHP system command. We can execute this. I mean, we can use this system function to execute the system commands. So that's what I'm going to do. Double quote, strictly to avoid ls. I'm just going to list the files present in the root directory. Let me put the ls-la so that we can see the owner of the file. Okay, I'm just terminating it. Then terminating that PHP command. So looks like the valid one. Now I'm just pushing this modified user agent. Here I'm injecting the command. So I'm injecting the command. I'm just putting it into that log file. So let's see. Let me forward this. I think nothing will happen because we are just modifying the user agent. Yeah, nothing has happened so far. But now let's see. I'll try to just give the request again because we are already included the file var log nginx access.log. So now I request again. What will happen? Look at this. We injected a command already. When we include that file through this request, it actually executes the PHP script that I injected. Then it gives the result in this log file itself. Now you may see the flag file, flag underscore kndhg. Now it is very simple. We are about to give one more request and simply modify the user agent. Once again, the PHP, then system command, then I am enclosing it in the single quote, then ls, so not ls actually, cat, I need to cat it, right? So, or I can, yeah, I think I can cat it. Cat this flag, I think, yeah. The flag name, close this single quote, and also the PHP script. So let's see. Looks okay. I'm just catting it. So simple cat command. Let's see. Let me give the forward this request. So nothing happens here. So it's simply forwarded. I'm moving to repeater. So let's give the request again. You can see it is actually giving the flag. So we can also do it in this way. When I am giving one more request, I simply modify this and forward this. It eventually gives that flag here. So here is the flag. So this is the flag. Simple challenge, but I faced some trickiness when I was handling that quotation. Now actually, if you see my previous video, I committed to go beyond root. So now actually we got to know why this vulnerability happened. What caused this vulnerability? So we got to know that. Now I'm just going to tell you the fix. I installed the Sneak. Sneak is actually a plugin. So it is actually a free plugin. You can simply install this plugin and you can log in with Sneak. So what it will do? It will try to inspect your code on behalf of you, and it will try to give the vulnerabilities if any. The scan is underway, so let's wait for a couple more minutes. Open source security, what it says. I don't think it give any significant vulnerability. Let me move to this code security. So this is where we can see this deserialization, insecure deserialization of untrusted data. Yeah, this is what I wanted to showcase. So here it clearly identified which part caused this issue. Unserialized function used in this index.php caused this issue exactly. You can just fix it by replacing unserialized function with JSON underscore decode function. Okay, so this is the solution. If you simply modify this, I think it will fix this issue. No, you will no longer get that vulnerability in this application. Okay, so yeah. I think this is what I wanted to showcase. Hope you really enjoyed it. If you really did, consider doing all this, all that YouTube algorithm, like, comment, subscribe, everything. I'll catch you next time with another exciting one. Until then, I'll signing off. See you. Cheers, and I love you all. Thank you so much.